Hey everyone, so this is a topic that has come up a lot in the channel recently, so I wanted to kind of break it down. This is going to be a little bit more technical video, so stick it out for a little bit. I know these are a little tougher, you guys don't always enjoy them as much, but then everybody raves about them afterwards, so let's have some fun and dive into, let's see, how would you even say this? You've just got a new prescription, everything's been great for a long time, you haven't gotten a new prescription in a long time, now you have, and you're struggling with everything in this area and closer. We'll talk about some of what could cause it, what could be going on, or if it's time to go a little bit deeper than that. Now, I'm going to start off with saying this is a very dense and tough topic. There are a lot of factors that could cause this. We're going to focus on some of the more common ones and kind of how and why they get there. So to start with, you've got a new prescription. Let's say it's been probably 5-6 years before you're wearing something just for fun. I'm using kind of round numbers. These are all sample lenses I have here, super handy in their big open form here. So let's say you're this guy. You're the -4 1/4 lens. You've been wearing it for 6-7 years, whatever. Haven't really gotten a new prescription updated or whatever in a while, and don't mind me, I'm still working on getting this one fitted, but I've got to get this video done. So, say you're this -4 1/4, right? Makes everything a little bit smaller, a little bit tougher, but it's beautiful and crisp and sharp for you, and you've loved that for a long time, but now things aren't quite as crisp, far away as they used to be. Just for the purpose of this, we're gonna make it real easy. And I'm gonna organize some lenses because I'm a dummy and I didn't do this to start with. So, now you've got your new prescription. It is -5 1/4, so a full diopter more minus. And that is, you know, it's not huge, but it's definitely substantial. So, yeah. I don't even remember which is which. This is terrible. I'm kidding. I know exactly which one is which. Here's our -5 1/4, our -4 1/4. You know, there's definitely a difference there in the images and size. So that's one part of it. The image is a little bit smaller now, even if it's a little more crisp, maybe it's not just quite what you need. Or maybe it's only a half diopter change. But what happens is, and I see this a lot as we get into kind of those, I don't want to say later years, but earlier years of progressive lenses where you're, say, between about 38 to mid-40s. It's kind of where we see this start to happen. You're needing a little bit more minus, but you've been used to that underpowered lens, a full diopter less power, but it still makes, you know, things aren't quite crisp out there, but you can function everything in here. Well, this is basically acting as your one add power lens at that point. This is the area where I start to see a lot of myopes have problems because they want that sharp, crisp, far away vision of the higher minus lens over here. But now when they're walking around in their office or sitting at their desk or whatever, everything is beginning to be a problem and a struggle to see. So we go from here to here, or maybe even we jump over here to a full 6 1/4, and that is a 2 diopter jump. Well, same situation, except now this was a 2 add power, and things were pretty fuzzy off at a distance for you, and that you waited way too long. We're gonna hate each other. But that's another story. So how we get there is just conveniently, I have a -1 here. You've got your -1. There you go. Take it away, is your +1. That is giving you that ability and function to see up close a little bit easier. Now what it amounts to is the crystalline lens and the muscles inside the eye have the ability to add that accommodative power, but as we get older, that goes away. That's what we call presbyopia, and that is when you begin to need progressives or bifocals or whatever for that help right out here. But what's fun with it is in your -4 over here, I've got too many lenses. I'm trying to lay them where they belong. So your 4 1/4 gives you that little bit of an ability to still walk around, see okay farish away, and up close. This is the one that's really difficult to convince that there is a problem and it's time to give up on the single vision lenses. They'll probably struggle and fight it for a couple more years. If that's you, well, I can't say I'm not in the same boat, because I wear a -2-ish, which means I take these off, and this is perfect. I put these on, I still have a lot of accommodability in my eye. It's still beautiful. One day it's not gonna work that way, and I'm gonna be a pain in my own ass, because that's how that works. Back to this guy though with the +2, this one's fun because here's your -6.25, here is your +2, which, yeah, that's a huge, huge difference, right? But, you know, there you can really see kind of what's going on. If we take our 2 add power and put it over the bottom half of that lens, which by the way is not how progressive lenses work at all, you can see kind of the difference of what's going on there, right in that area. So the short version there is you waited too long to get a new prescription, or, you know, maybe you didn't and it's just kind of crept up on you all at once. I've seen this happen in just a year or so, when you finally cross that edge of needing just a little bit more minus and the eye just isn't quite accommodating like it used to. You get that new ½ diopter of minus, you put the glasses on, and oh man, everything's beautiful. Out at a distance, it's crispy, the trees have leaves in them again, everything is gorgeous. And then you sit down at your desk and I can't function. This is actually one of the comments here recently I've gotten, as somebody got a new prescription in a similar situation. And this is kind of, I suspect, what's going on there is now they're struggling with that. But it's always hard to tell from far away. The other kind of situation we see here is in progressive lenses. We did a whole video on this one. I will link it, but occasionally we'll see a progressive lens where, especially in hyperopes, I don't have really a good plus lens here handy, but what happens is those eyes don't have a lot of ability to rotate. So if you get a huge freaking plus lens here with a little bit of an add power in it, what happens a lot of times with progressives is if it's in a larger frame, most of the automatic designs and algorithms are going to do something like this for your add power. It's going to be just there at the very bottom. You can see when you get something actually sitting in a frame like that, where you're really only kissing that little bit inner there. And it depends on the lens design, if the optician made any tweaks to it or not, as to whether that's actually going to be a problem. It's one of the ones that I see the most in kind of generic type fits. And what I mean by generic type fits is just they enter a lens and the computer spits it out and they get it in and get your glasses, and there you go. I don't know why, because we pretty much universally know more hyperopic eyes need shorter corridors. Why any of the algorithms these days are spitting out a longer corridor for a hyperopic eye, I don't really know. Okay, actually, I do sort of understand that concept, is because we're trying to lengthen and get everything is right here at arm's length today. So you want to maximize that field as much as you can. Problem is, when you maximize that field as much as you can, you have to really push that near power down, and then you're having to do this to read. It's not ideal. We don't love that, but it happens, and it's the way it works. So there you go. What's a little bit more fun is the opposite direction, which we already kind of did that, but let's go and say you are this -6.25. No. Yeah, this is a good one to demonstrate. So we'll take the 6.25 here. Now we're going to take our little -1's lens here. So let's say you're a whole diopter more over that 6.25. Now a -7.25. Well, what you were used to seeing before was here. Not a huge difference, right? But it's definitely a noticeable one. So you've got that, but you really are having trouble and struggles with that near vision, and you need a whole 2 diopters of that. So you need to get back down to that 5.25 area. My 5.25 lens ran away. You can see, there we've got it. It's kind of fun to play with these, and I could probably keep doing that all day, but it's not going to do anybody any good. But the takeaway here is when you get that increased minus and the eye is having trouble accommodating over it, this is the main one I want to focus on today, because what you pick up is a lot of eye strain initially. And then you get back in your environment and you start to see that, hey, I'm really struggling here out at arm's length. It's gonna be on that line where you need to start considering either a progressive lens or maybe talking to your doctor, see if they want to back that prescription out a little bit, find kind of that happy median for another year, push it out a little bit more. But overall, it's getting time to start looking at progressives or bifocals or whatever sort of lens to give you that add power and cut that eye strain. But it's not really a function of the new prescription being wrong so much as it is the eyes have changed in a couple different ways rather than just having the one problem where I can't see off at a distance. Well, another problem where the near is becoming an issue. So it all comes back to that accommodatability of the eye, especially if you were over minus to begin with and functioned with it like that for a very long period. That's an extremely hard one. Oh, that's a whole other topic. But try to keep this kind of light. I knew it was a little bit more dense topic, but I think we gave it a good run at it. I'll see what you guys think soon, but that's what I've got on this. So if you've ever experienced that problem, you get the new glasses, things are just fuzzy out at arm's length, you're myopic most likely, and it's just a pain and a struggle for a little while. But it's really funny because the hyperopic ones, it's the exact opposite problem. They get the new glasses, everything's great up close, everything's not great out there at a distance. You guys are exact opposites. It's wonderful in how it works. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling on this. We've got almost 15 minutes here, so that's solid. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. If this video helped, definitely do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and hopefully I will see you again in the future. If this video helped you, awesome. If it made you angry at me, kind of also awesome, because it's news, it's fixable, right? I'll catch you guys next time.